Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brigadier Dr. Vijay Sagar Dhiman. I am convener of International Institute of J&K Studies and Analysis, ITSA, Jammu, the only think tank in J&K state. Now today I am back again with you to talk something about Pahalgam massacre. Well, there are a lot of developments taking place on Indian side as well as Pakistani side, and let's see one of the aspects about certain statements that have been given by the leaders of Pakistan. The brutal attack in Pahalgam on April 22nd, which claimed the lives of 26 tourists and injured many more, has sent shockwaves throughout the region and dramatically escalated tensions between India and Pakistan. In the week following the tragedy, that is April 22nd to April 30th, the key Pakistani leaders have publicly expressed growing apprehensions about the potential military retaliation from India, even as they vehemently deny any involvement in this terror act. The statements paint a picture of a nation bracing for a possible Indian response, which obviously should be there, marked by a mix of denial warnings and appeals for international interventions to save their skin. The serene valley of Baisaran, near the popular tourist spot of Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, became the site of horror when the terrorists struck on April 22nd. The victims were primarily Hindu tourists, and their loss deeply felt across India. While the terror front, that is TRF group, initially claimed responsibility, they later retracted their statement, adding to the confusion and suspicion surrounding the attack. This was boasted about by the Defense Minister of Pakistan on the floor of Pakistan National Assembly that they could convince the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, not to name TRF in their statement. It is a clear confession by the Pakistan that they are the handlers of terror groups in India like TRF, which is a known arm of Jaish-e-Mohammed. Well, India's reaction was swift and accusatory. Prime Minister Modi condemned the attack and vowed to bring the perpetrators and their backers to justice, a clear implication directed towards Pakistan. Within hours, the Indian government publicly blamed its western neighbor, alleging Pakistani involvement in providing support and even personnel for the attack. In the immediate aftermath, India took strong diplomatic steps against Pakistan. These included halting the Indus Water Treaty waters, holding it in abeyance, closing the Atari border crossing, expelling Pakistani military advisors, recalling their own diplomatic staff from Islamabad, and revoking visas of Pakistani nationals in India. India also advised its citizens against traveling to Pakistan, citing increased security risks. Pakistan, while expressing condolences for the loss of the lives lost, firmly denied any connection to the Pahalgam attack, as usual. So they urged India to look inwards and address what they described as a failure to protect its own citizens in Jammu and Kashmir. This initial denial soon gave way to a noticeable shift in rhetoric, with Pakistani leaders voicing concerns about India's next move. However, it was clear that the response by the senior leaders was nothing but a shock effect of the Indian announcement of measures being taken by India to teach Pakistan a decisive lesson like suspending Indus Water Treaty, which could threaten the very existence of Punjab province of Pakistan. The end of April saw a flurry of statements from Islamabad reflecting this growing anxiety amongst the planners in Pakistan. On April 29th, the Defense Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif told reporters that he believed that a military attack from India was imminent. He cited India's increasingly aggressive public statements and briefings from his own military leadership as reasons for this grim assessment. Minister Asif also revealed that Pakistan had bolstered its forces along the border and taken strategic decisions in response to the perceived threat from India. He also mentioned that while Pakistani forces were on the high alert, the nuclear weapons could be resorted to defeat India militarily. His words marked a significant change in tone moving from denial to active anticipation of an impending Indian military action. He also admitted that Pakistan has been doing this dirty work of producing jihadis for the last 30 years for USA and the Western nations, particularly United Kingdom he named. And later, the same day, the Information Minister Atatullah Tarar took a social media platform, X, to claim that Islamabad possessed credible intelligence pointing to an imminent Indian military attack within the next 24 to 36 hours. He also held press conference, perhaps to invoke international sympathetic response in favor of Pakistan at 200 hours in the morning, in the midnight, at 2 o'clock in the morning at night. It could have been due to underlying fear of being hit decisively by India anytime. He alleged that Pahalgam incident was being used by India as a false pretext for aggression and warned that any such action would be met with a decisive response, with India bearing the full responsibility for the consequences. Minister Tarar's forceful statement, amplified again on April 30th, underscored the Pakistani government's conviction that the impending threat is there. Adding to the chorus of concern, Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar issued a stark warning on April 30th. He stated that while Pakistan would not initiate military action, any Indian aggression would be met with a response far exceeding a simple tit-for-tat solution. He declared that we will respond to a brick with a stone, signaling the potential for a robust and escalatory reaction in the subcontinent. Even former Prime Minister Imran Khan, now in the opposition, weighed in on the situation on April 30th. While expressing condolences for the Pahalgam attacks, his call for India to act responsibly could be interpreted as an implicit concern about a potential overreaction from New Delhi. Collectively, these statements from Pakistani leadership in days following the Pahalgam massacre reveal a palpable and growing fear of Indian military retaliation. The Defense Minister's assessment of an imminent attack, the Information Minister's claim of credible intelligence, and Deputy Prime Minister's warning of a disproportionate response all point to a nation on edge, bracing for a potential conflict. This anxiety is undoubtedly fueled by India's strong accusations and immediate punitive diplomatic measures. As the subcontinent remains on high alert, the international community watches with bated breath, hoping for a de-escalation and a peaceful resolution to this dangerous escalation. So, ladies and gentlemen, all this is being done just to ensure that there is no potential kinetic escalation in the subcontinent. But however, India would keep this option as a last resort, because this time it is the war for do or die. Because Pakistan had enough of terrorism towards India. Now if we hit them in Punjab province with our IWT, with our diplomatic measures, put Pakistan on FATF or other world monetary bodies, plus you take some economic measures, economic sanctions on them, stop trade with them altogether, I'm sure they'll be forced to think whether to continue the same way and take on India's wrath, where their existence would be at stake, or leave the Kashmir rant and stop promoting terrorism in India. I hope some right-minded, sane-minded people in Pakistan take this view and take this decision in a manner that they have their existence peaceful and prosperity comes back to them as well. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Please like and subscribe.